we traditionally see on most maps, picking up utility this time. Shows us that HAVU are going to try and be as utility-centric as possible, try and win the game before they've even seen their opponents. And already that's going quite nicely as they get into the A site scot-free, and Aerial's able to take down friberg for the first frag. hallzerk is in close proximity, and he's just biding his time, waiting for the cavalry to arrive. sLowi's doing everything he can, though, to try and stop those horses from bolting from the stable. 3 players now up on the short position for the CTs. 1 player in the CT spawn looking to try and make this retake a reality as xseveN cowers behind the boxes on the default part of the site. 1 frag quickly peeking up, but HEAP's good for it. sLowi and jemi, though, coming in with 2 more. hallzerk twisting and turning, but unfortunately has to wiggle his way to a deep grave as jemi finishes off both HEAP. The remaining 2 players on the AK, so a third round buys go, this is not that great for HAVU, but they should have an opportunity to try and stabilise it a bit here, as sLowi just, well, goes quickly rather than slowly through the middle of the map, barreling through with his Mac-10, practically just leaping about to try and stay alive until he gets barrel stuffed by friberg, and that will give the A site over with all that distraction being ran in middle to the HAVU side for a free and open plant.
Tell you what, though, I'm not sure if I'd be enjoying a stuffed sLowi at Christmas rather than a stuffed turkey. That one doesn't really whet the appetite the same way.
No, you're not banking. You're not thinking that.
No, I mean it probably tastes like chicken, but HAVU just locking this one down now. xseveN with the nade. friberg finished off, and they'll look to see if they can find some more damage, because, I mean, obviously with only, well, no one surviving actually last round from HAVU, it means the economy is, as you say, sort of weak for them. So if they could have found an extra kill here, would have been nice. Instead,
for 3 of the 5 players on the CT side. But Lecro will see what he can do with this FAMAS. Posted up on the short position, just waiting for any aggression, but it's f0rest who takes point first. Gets tagged on down and has to smoke himself out to stop himself burning alive. Now through the corner, Aerial will quickly swing out and translate that frag back in return, but it's still going to be a 4 versus 3 until ZOREE is able to bring that one back. That's the AWP dropped as well. hallzerk not going to be able to fight any further on this one, as now the A site once again falls to the contest of HAVU. Just 2 players really in close proximity to defend against it, and now that becomes just 1 with friberg tapping players' heads from long, but it's not enough. Just HEAP is all that remains. On the other side of that smoke, he's got a rude awakening when Aerial rears his ugly head, but in the end, it's going to be relieved of him as HEAP looks to try and clutch, and will do so. Transitioning to the AK, relieves sLowi of his head as well, and brings the first round for Dignitas, while also trying to recover the AWP.
Yeah, figures out where it is in the end. Has a bit of an expedition there to find it, but gets it. Will get on the defuse, has that kit, no problem with that. As first guns out, Dignitas, they secure a first round, but it's a costly first round, so a couple deagles, really not what you want to be fielding up against a round that's going to determine which way this first half's going to be swinging, and that's definitely not what you want either. hallzerk just nails down 1 straight through the mid doors, collects jemi, and that's the AK that will need to get recovered as well by one of these HAVU players. Somebody needs to move over there and get that weapon into their hands. sLowi has been able to do so. Great refrag as well.
He's going to be the only player in anywhere near this site to do anything about it, and unfortunately he's not going to be able to. He's going to have to wait for the assistance of his teammates if there's going to be any offered. I see a world in which we don't see any further frags here, but it looks like Dignitas don't. They want to try and do something as players approach from CT. Lecro poised. He's got the assistance of 2 more friends, and they're about to look to try and take some frags, but sLowi is on the case. Finds 1, swings out in friberg, deleted. Now looking for just 2 more in Lecro and f0rest, and I don't doubt their abilities, but I feel this round may be a little bit of a stretch, as xseveN deals with Lecro, just f0rest to remain, and that's 4-1.
Often gets neglected, especially on Vertigo. But ooh, nice shot from friberg. A bit of a double push in from Dignitas to try and secure control, and they're even going to commit to even more than just that 1 frag. Lecro, another 2 come through, and finally jemi replies back with bomb.
Not a bog Dan, but a bog down. That's a little better. Down. That's a toilet down. Oh my god. Yeah, suppose you're right. Yeah, it is.
I've done you there, haven't I? Aerial. Oh, that's another chance. Things going slowly. They're going to wait for this flank. sLowi, look at him over towards short, looking for an opening. He's going to get a quick first, a second as well, onto Forest. That is exactly what HAVU wanted. And yeah, Dignitas, you may have been pretty comfortable in the previous round. This one is not the same. A 1v2 for HEAP. We've seen him do it before. Can he manage it again? A player towards short. Surely going to take him down and sLowi in with the... They're going to. They have to. As hallzerk flashed off the angle. Wants to go for the reef peak. And ZOREE missing the shot. Gives hallzerk the chance. And a 1-for-1. That is until xseveN. Has a second look in towards the site. And lecro doesn't even know what hit him. Luckily for the Dignitas side, Forest is still finding damage. But xseveN, how is he doing this? 3 quick kills for him, and the entire round comes crashing down all up towards HEAP. Knows as a player towards top mid. He's going to try and find jemi. Will secure that frag, but still 2 more to collect. And with xseveN still on the cards here. This is like the 3rd or 4th 1v2 I've seen HEAP in. This will be another one added to his tally as he pushes forward. It's Aerial who takes the first fight and will win out.
Bangs and smokes raining into the A site. It's forced hallzerk away from the angle that he wanted to hold, and also granted safe passage, I believe, for sLowi in towards CT. But as it is, this is actually going to look to be a bit of a pinch in towards the B site. Instead, all of that smoking on short was just a carefully constructed ruse as they get the bomb planted on B. HEAP was unable to react. He had no idea what was coming. And it's just going to be up to hallzerk and friberg. You don't like the looks of it. I think HAVU here are really showing us a pretty deep strat book with that round there. That was carefully constructed, it was patient, and then they pulled the trigger and executed nicely. It also does help that sLowi has some freakish aim.
Yeah. A few of these HAVU players are looking pretty hot to trot. That's easy. A couple fights, but more damage being done, and there's lecro. lecro! Oh dear, that could have been a lot more than just a single tag onto one player. As it's all gonna start crashing down. There was so much potential in this round, and Dignitas, hallzerk, he does find 2 of the P250, and that leaves just a couple low HP players, but xseveN, as his smoke fades, oh no, he pulls out the nade. And Forest, that's exactly the moment he chooses to push through. So now Aerial left in a 1v2. He needs to try and find Forest to begin with, but he knows he's somewhere in that smoke, just can't find the shot through. That smoke isn't going to last forever, Forest. That's for sure, but the more time that passes, the more chances, and oh dear.
Just somehow pulls 2 random P250 frags out of nowhere, and they end up paying off so hard. And then this time around, even able to double up over the smoke onto ZOREE to start things off as well. So that's a nice start from hallzerk, and starting really to find his feet on the CT side, even though there's not much time left to really operate with that. Whilst in the last round, xseveN couldn't see the Forest through the smoke. This time, jemi can see friberg instead and manages to take him out, but already the mid-pressure being exerted by lecro. T side of Dust2 coming up next. I say there's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance?
There's definitely a side, and the timing is just so that he's able to get through as Aerial stops watching that angle, but now he comes back in, he spotted out the arm, and he's going to only find one of the 2 players there. A quick trade from HEAP as he now has to try and retake the bomb site he was called to defend. sLowi and jemi with the bomb ticking away. That is their 3rd man on the server. Timer works in their favor, and sLowi. sLowi!
People trying to get bomb plants in clutch situations. It does really ramp up the pressure. Auto sniper brought pretty resolute to be nothing, and hallzerk and Forest this time are both going to open up with some aggression, and HEAP is showing us what he's made of with those deagles as well, as he rips the head of one more, leaving it just up to Aerial and sLowi. They're going to be in a 2 versus 5. Don't count them out of this by any means, because the firepower on the whole definitely favours them, but it might be a whole lot more difficult now that sLowi has been taken down. hallzerk just training his sights through the top of middle, waiting for Aerial to approach. And just like that, he will. And it's f0rest, in fact, to take him down with that crisp of their choosing 4 versus 5. The odds just don't favour them. And in fact, they're going to be a little bit staggered in their approach here. One player not quite with the rest of them. A further shot from xseveN just relieves Lekro of his duties. And now a 3 versus 5. Plenty of players to take some pot shots at, which friberg is finding some good results with f0rest assistance. But unfortunately, they've both been taken down, and then hallzerk's been pinned to the wall by ZOREE. Aerial finishes the job. And that is unfortunate for Dignitas. Just as you were highlighting, Dan, this is worst case scenario for the Swedes, as HAVU now pick up that pistol and stretch their lead even further.
Post up on the AWP, if you get an opening kill and fall away, that would be huge. And he can't hit the opening shot, but he's not been caught either. He's able to drop back and keep himself alive. Now has support from teammates, but the support is not enough. Kills come through. friberg, he's been undetected here. He's been able to get to this position. He's not fired a shot yet. But I think HAVU are already deciding on the save. HEAP's going to be hearing the steps. Might try.
They're going to stick with that idea. f0rest does not want them to save anything here, though, and HEAP is also going in with him. f0rest gets spotted out first, and Aerial's ready and up for the challenge. HEAP also going to slide on out and take one, but not a story from that angle. It's going to be reciprocated, though, as jemi sets one back up for himself, enabling the slide on in from Goose. He's taken one with him. f0rest trades back, but he's still alive and kicking. jemi taking another. A 3-on-4 now as players start to get around and into the site from the CT side, and the T's are going to be forced back away. They're waiting on this long play coming in here, I believe, from Lekro. He's trying to flank on around and find a few frags, but he's been watched, he's been found, he's been caught. Aerial is too wise to that one. Your antics will not go unchecked today, as hallzerk and f0rest now need to try and find a solution to this problem, and they don't have much time to do it. Just 16 seconds, all that remains. That's one head spotted, but that's also information gained as jemi gets his 3rd of the round from Goose, and it will be finished off by sLowi. HAVU.
Fire coming back through that smoke. And now they're going to try and regress with the utility, but they're a little bit late on the push. It's kills coming through both ways from the CTs and the Ts. Aerial was good for 1, actually good for 3. How has he found 3 in that? He's single-handedly holding HAVU in this round, but a little bit aggressive. He wanted to find more. Didn't expect hallzerk to still be chilling around in that position. Now leaves jemi all on his lonesome, a 1v2. And, well, Aerial tried his best. I think his teammates were left with just SMGs in that push, and they got gunned down very, very quickly. Aerial did well to trade back, but now jemi, can he find the kills? First quickly gone onto HEAP, but hallzerk instantly
maintain them, and so far Dignitas on their T side at the very least have been doing a really good job of that.
sLowi, if he'd been still watching, might have had a frag. Gets one either way. Doesn't care about the timing, but well, maybe he should have cared about the timing a little bit, because a couple quick kills from Dignitas do just leave Aerial and xseveN now all on their lonesome, and yeah, you're just gonna have to save. You still got the lead for now. I wonder if maybe HAVU are in that sort of mental state where, like, yeah, we still have the lead, we're still dynamic in what they're doing. Obviously, a few rounds now, hallzerk, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going for.
Oh, I like this. I really, really like this. 5-7s are out as well. It's all of our dreams answered at once, but HEAP is trying to answer the call. He's got plenty of players surrounding him, though, and all of a sudden this has actually gone quite badly south for Dignitas. Now, all they need to get out of it, of course, is just one big multi-frag, but there's plenty of armor on these players too. It's just ZOREE without it. Aerial now trying to circumvent these 2 players inside of middle. hallzerk still alive and kicking. Lekro dodging the flashbang, can't dodge a second one. He thinks it's a flashbang, it's actually a smoke. And now with that, it leaves it just up to hallzerk. 1 versus 3, mind you, and with xseveN fully armored up, ZOREE with a rifle in his back pocket too, same as sLowi, who finishes the job. It makes it very good, at the very least. That's going to be something that you would be able to call this Dignitas by. They're now going to try and emerge onto the B site. It's not going to be all that successful as of yet, even though hallzerk somehow gets away with his life. Yeah, jemi doesn't even get anything out of that either. It's xseveN to trade one back, and with the lesser weaponry, they seem to have found a highly important round here for Dignitas. 13 will almost certainly roll onto the scoreboard now as ZOREE and Aerial really, but for HAVU, not down and out just yet. These saves are keeping them, encourage him and just spur him on for a little bit further aggression, where f0rest waits around the corner, but the timing just does not favour the veteran. He gets taken down and leaves it now in a 3 versus 5 for his teammates to try and bring the goods home with. HAVU finding match point here could be the straw that broke the camel's back in this half as sLowi grabs one more and even gets away with his life. I don't know how he gets around that corner in time with just 13 HP remaining. xseveN will take lekro for good measure, leaving HEAP to go 1 better or maybe even 3 better than he's managed to do so far, from a 1-on-2 to a 1-on-5. I think all in all, if they wouldn't have given themselves such a tough mountain to climb on the CT side, might have been looking a little bit better for Dignitas here. All things considered, that's a pretty good opening for f0rest to find onto ZOREE, but Aerial does 1 better, takes 2 down, and better than that, it's 2 AKs as well. So that leaves that P250 of friberg still in circulation, hallzerk still on the scout as well, and even with the lesser weaponry, friberg still finding impact, still finding ways to make his presence felt on the map. With 1 found now, might even look to try and convert that up to a 2nd as he cowers in the corner. Flashbang going in perfectly though, and that will execute him, no problem. HEAP got to defend as up through short. Here comes the 2 Finns with Aerial out on the other side. Beautiful shots onto hallzerk. It's just all on HEAP to win or bin, and it's going to be the latter. Unfortunately, Dignitas' efforts are all in vain as HAVU will take map number 1, 16-13.
Impressive attempt from Dignitas, I will say, getting it pretty far back. They're finding 9 on that T side, but just not enough. Can't quite get us into the.
When you play with the substitute, he doesn't necessarily know all the strategies that your team like to pull. He doesn't know everything that you know the inner workings of your strategy pool. He doesn't know necessarily the positions that f0rest plays, and might not be able to play them like for like either. Got f0rest and GeT_RiGhT, 2 very different players. So either way, we'll see how it turns to transpire. It is Inferno. It's Dignitas' better map, so maybe the 4 mainline players of the roster might know what they're able to do. But nonetheless, for the time being, HAVU are having a bit of a hard time breaking it into the site. It's resulted in a 1 versus 3, irrespective of the hard time they were having. Taps on in, friberg still looking to try and take a few frags away. Gets the 1st, gets the 2nd, now tries to go for the diffuser! And just like that, friberg... That sentence or not. Oh, I love this position. I love how he's being baited in as well, Dan. It's so good. He finds 1 out of it. Okay, never mind. I'm going to shut up.
That could have been great, but xseveN, there's 12 HP. Does get it in time. He will get finished off by xseveN. But a 2-on-3. This is still winnable for Dignitas. And it's certainly a lot of damage done when he came into this round with a couple SMGs. Oh, Jesus, wet. That is a great shot from xseveN. He can't follow up onto hallzerk, but the round goes their way either way. It is HAVU finding a 1st on the board. Now they only keep 2 players alive.
Their resources a little bit thinner. And you can see they've already done so. 3 players across to the A site. Just jemi over here at B. He's taken 1 to the grave with him, and so far he's still alive and kicking. Got a few more to try and dig, as he's found the 1st. Just 2, 3, or even 4 frags here would be mega. Just trading out more than you're worth. So 2 for 1 while you wait for the retake to come on in is going to be great. In fact, just do that one better. Wait for the retake to come on in with your teammates. xseveN falls. lekro is able to trade onto jemi. hallzerk now called into question. Really? We're getting the Harry Potter thing? You know, interestingly enough, in its popularity, I'm starting to get the impression that higher level teams are starting to understand how to use this weapon more on the T side of Inferno. But there's little counterplay to getting splayed through the smoke while completely blind by jemi, so I'm going to say that there's nothing the T side at all would have been able to do about that one. As now lekro, hallzerk and GeT_RiGhT need to try and figure out a way to bring this round back from the brink to 5 versus 3. They're already making their presence felt towards middle. It's no secret of their arrival, but sLowi's had his head removed. lekro dancing in the boiler room, but it's got too hot to handle as Aerial comes in, swoops down and silences him with the silenced weapon. hallzerk just scope walking now into the site, trying to make a secret of his arrival this time, unlike that of lekro. But I feel that as a Cyclops, the shot may not be easily found, and ZOREE proves me exactly right. xseveN can't finish the job. I think maybe it's something that would be fun to like try in a charity format, like a charity event. Like we did that Gamers Without Borders thing with the 25 rounds like Valorant, and you know that was, I think people realised that doesn't really work for CSGO. Maybe we could try that in another kind of charity tournament. Keep pitching it, and maybe it'll get some traction.
Box. If he can find one before he gets taken down, before he gets traded, that would be enough. He's heard the scope. They know he's there. They need to try and bait him into a shot, but maybe I should have specified the shot wouldn't hit one of them. As he does find one before being taken down there, ZOREE. A second kill for him, but Dignitas now need to go for that plant, and the smoke fading. Electro knows he isn't going to be safe to do that. And this is allowing a lot of time for HAVU to rotate that second player over. That's Aerial over towards Banana, but this fight towards Ruins, it could be everything. Get right. Oh, just misses the timing, but so does xseveN. Aerial will swing in and clone them both down. It wasn't expected at all, and there you go, 5-5. HAVU. Yeah, they get it done. I thought with the fight there from
Bank.
sLowi, eluding death there in the smoke, and he's gonna fight back once he hears the reload. He won't be able to escape, but it's still the man advantage for the HAVU side. Aggressive pushes, and they do favour the CT side for this round so far. ZOREE even picks in with another one, a flashbang to completely blind up hallzerk for that one, and leaves just HEAP and Get Right 2 versus 4. You've not really got much chance in this one. ZOREE's still located towards long or in play. The flashbang does push him off the angle for a moment, but HEAP with the repeat coming through. But you just feel that the team will play differently when you've got like a different fifth in the team.
Statistically, you wouldn't really say there's anything wrong with having a stand in here because your professional Valorant player Get Right, as that article once, that BBC article here. This is a 4 versus 4, and time, whilst it is dwindling down, I think has also been read here by HAVU. They have a bit of an idea of where this one's ultimately going to come over to, and it is the A site. They have got that one sorted and banked on. Still 3 versus 2. Jemi now consolidating the support as he comes to arrive with xseveN too. They're going to let the bomb plant happen here for HAVU, and they're going to try and play retake. And I don't mind this whatsoever because they knew that their third man was a little bit far away.
Looking to try and push in friberg towards Boiler. Oh, xseveN didn't even give him a chance to react there. Huge kill coming through. hallzerk spots that one as a flashbang comes through. He just lets rip with that AWP, finds the first, and along with
got a bit too far behind myself there. But I think worst case scenario for them would end up being if they lose the pistol round on the CT side, just because it will put them in the same position that HAVU were in, where they end up finding themselves down a little bit earlier on. And just a note, only 3 of the 6 rounds Dignitas have found have really been well-earned gun rounds, which I think tells a very telling story here.
Jemi maybe could have fired off a shot there and might have clipped one of them, but decides against it instead. He's just going to run through the smoke with a deagle and a flashbang. It works out for 2. He's been able to even the standing here in this one from a 4-on-3 into a 2-on-2, and ZOREE towards Ruins as well. He tried to bait in for his teammate, but Lecro is wise to that, and he's just trying to stay alive while he waits for Get Right to rotate all the way over. Lecro just needs to keep his head tucked in. Knows that Get Right isn't far away. The timer ticking down, 15 seconds. ZOREE just trying to play with it as much as he can, and as he peeks around the corner, he didn't...
Starting now to try and think about more control of Banana, but who is here apart from Adam friberg? Unfortunately, not going to be ruling over this particular area of the map for long. By royal decree, sLowi forces him to abdicate his position, and HEAP now has to rotate into the B site to defend what's left. Unfortunately, a 5 versus 3 here for the young gun to try and defend against. Doesn't really feel too strong for him, or Dignitas.
And a shot from HEAP creates an opening in towards Ruin there, as the bomb is going to get planted. He's even able to find another as well through the smoke. Taking down one leaves at least a chance for Dignitas as they keep pushing in. He keeps finding frags, but now he's left alone as Lecro is going to be embracing the cold dark death that does ensue him, and yeah, they're just playing this one beautifully, HAVU. Then they just keep going for the jiggle peek as soon as a couple shots ring through. They know that he's not going to be taking any shots against them, and okay, there we go. I mean, they each want a gun, they each want a pistol round, so it sort of balances as now HEAP having a peek in. That is the perfect timing to find ZOREE. hallzerk swings in with A. And even that is running thin on time. 15 seconds, you might just have to save. They're going to go for it either way. That's a nice kill on to get right, but if Electro just slows things down, no, he looks away. hallzerk does find one through the smoke, almost a second, but they will be able to get the bomb planted in time. So ignore everything I say, but they were cutting it mighty close, just a couple seconds on between not being able to plant, and jemi is really looking for that gun. In the meantime, his teammate has found hallzerk, leaving just friberg 1 and 2, and this really should have been Dignitas' round.
I don't know how this one's fallen apart, to be honest with you, Dan. In the end, sLowi will finish the job. That's a 12.
Let's get the guns out for them once again. They've got hallzerk on the AWP doing good early damage. And with a tag onto Aerial and now the kill onto sLowi as well, but he's had to give up long control. He's had to make do with just that advantage and the sight, essentially. Get right, that's a nice pick though. Finding one onto xseveN from the pit. He's looking to find more. And a player towards the apartment, he did spot him out. Oh, needs to just tuck and tail in towards that pit position. But look at the flank as well. Aerial, 12 HP. He's going to catch friberg off guard. There's a first kill found. He spots a second in the site, but with such as A site as well. So if they want to commit to this, they've got to come over a lot of these players.
That's not going to be the best way to start it either. Lekro gets a free frag onto ZOREE, who can't quite adjust quickly enough. And now jemi, with 22 seconds remaining, I'm guessing is going to try and do a Hail Mary attempt towards the B site. 1 versus 3, and there's still one player over here. Maybe he's hoping that HEAP hasn't decided to rotate out, but unfortunately he's in for a rude awakening any second. HEAP hasn't shown himself just yet. jemi goes for the peak. Here's the depths, and now we're on for it. I think he's just about got enough time for the bomb plant. He has. hallzerk slides on in though and takes the round away. There was definitely a chance there, I feel. But in the end, not to be. Dignitas will finally steal a round back. That's their first round of this second half.
Yeah, what has it been now? 5 in a row from HAVU?
I think even, yeah, 5. It was 5 in a row.
No, yeah, 5. Pick up this one. You're in for a really tough time. Because it's going to be, what, probably 50 to 8 before Dig could buy up again. And hallzerk, no! Oh, God, it all falls apart in the blink of an eye for Dignitas. Lekro, he tries to make a stand, but he just can't anymore. His legs crumple. And that's going to be 14 for HAVU.
That's a big Pepe hands moment, isn't it? Or whenever that's going to be. I'm not sure if that's tomorrow, actually, now I think about it. But even still, doesn't want to play it though. He's ready, waiting on Banana to try and fend off against this aggression that's about to come on in. The MP9 doesn't get much done. The FAMAS does on return though. HEAP gets away to the A site. hallzerk going to be extremely crucial to fixing out this round. Finds the first, spots the second as well, holds the spray down, and now Get Right's got a lot to do. Finds the first, but can't quite manage the second. hallzerk can, and sLowi is all that remains. Dignitas' 2 men on the A site do wonderfully and manage this storm rather well. All that needs to happen now is hallzerk to finish the job, and he does so.
Rifles as well, a couple of them saved AKs, and sLowi, he's just going straight through the smoke. He doesn't give a damn. friberg has no idea. He does at least trade. Stem the bleeding, stop the tide of players, and HEAP's even going to be able to manage a second, but no, get fight! No! There's an imposter among us, and who would have expected the lovable boy of Get Right? He finds one in return at least, but now there's opportunities for HAVU, and it's just hallzerk. A 1 versus 2 quickly guns down jemi, and please don't let this be how it ends. Don't be ending because of a team nade. hallzerk 1v1, the bomb's planted towards the B site. Aerial, all he has to utilize is his AK-47 and a Molotov. hallzerk, he has a smoke, a couple flashbangs, but where does he think Aerial's going to be positioned? He's clearing out these close angles, doesn't expect him to already be over towards Banana, knows that he has time to clear the back of sight, but does he clear dark? No, he doesn't, and that's how it ends. A team nade from Get Right. And heartbreak for Dignitas.